Yo guys, welcome back to some World of Warships, and again we're taking a look at Ranked, as that's where I have been having the most fun with this game recently. We're playing the Småland, a very, very good destroyer. I'm not gonna try and sell this as a not meta pick. This is an insane DD. However, we are going up against Gdansk now, so it's not like there isn't another ship with amazing radar and DPM. In fact, that ship has better speed as well as better gun arcs, so it would win in a more long-range gunfight. However, the enemy Gdansk here decides to charge right into the caps, and he's going after our Marceau, who torps the Shima right off the bat. Yes, Ranked is much more aggressive than random battles, so if you're looking for less passive games, definitely give Ranked a go. And this game might be a great showcase of why you shouldn't feel too much pressure in Ranked. I know it can feel like, oh, I'm gonna let down my team or something like that. Well, don't worry. Everybody does. But that is for the future of this video. For now, let's just enjoy our 2 destroyers start here. Killing 2 DDs off the bat, just an amazing start to a ranked battle here. Especially getting a Gdansk out of the way is amazing. We now control 2 of the 3 caps. The enemy team doesn't even have 1. We can set up some very strong defensive positions here. Our Minotaur could sit behind the B cap island, farm over that. We can spot and take out this Daring relatively quickly, who shows up even, so we'll try and take him out. But should be a pretty easy win, right? I haven't done the thumbnail for this one yet, but you guys probably are wondering how on earth the next portion goes so poorly. But it will. It will. For now, though, this Daring does go down. Yes. We killed all 3 of their DDs already. This quickly. And this game is far from over, as you can see from the time left on this video. So what's going to happen here? As a DD player, you do want to win these gunfights, you do want to get the caps, but you don't want to overcommit. You don't want to throw your ship away after doing that. You still need to tick up to 1,000 points to win the game. And our Minotaur decides to walk out in front of an Ohio at like 6 kilometers. So he gets dev struck rather predictably. So well done to that Ohio player for clicking on his Citadel. To be fair, RNG could have screwed him, but it did not. We're still in a good position though, right? Not too bad. Finally, we get a vision on this Zhao here. I was wondering where he was. And the Ohio wants to end it already. I can understand that maybe from a certain perspective. Losing all 3 of your DDs in the first 5 minutes of the game, pretty demoralizing. However, our Marceau walks out and decides to die to Ohio secondaries from someone who's decided to stop playing. Uh-oh. Here it comes, guys. The beginning of the end. So I'm still not wanting to open up and gunboat things because we'll win in 3 minutes. And then our Gdansk eats Zhao torps. Okay, that's not great. But hey, we still have a very healthy Schlieffen-ish and a very healthy Vermont against an AFK Ohio, a Zhao, and a Bourgogne, who are all very far away. And we have 3 caps. Should be fine, right? Should be fine. But the reason I really wanted to show this video was that this is gold ranked, so it doesn't really matter the ranked that you guys are playing at. You're going to have good teams, you're going to have bad teams. They will happen. But what's important is how you control your ship and how you are going to try and win games. We'll dump 1 torp at this guy who's gone AFK, I guess, and try and dump the other set of torps on the Bourgogne. It's important to play your role well, though. So, unfortunately for us, our Schlieffen does end up going down to the Zhao. Got him pretty low, though, so that could be a potential target for our Vermont here. Just a couple overpens or overmatch would do him in. Ideally, our torps get this Ohio here, who went AFK, I guess. So it's still not out of hand too badly yet, right? And still, I don't want to use my guns, because there's really not much point. We should just win this one easily, outright. I don't want to risk too much health. I might need that in the late game, depending on how things go. The Zhao will get the A cap, and now we probably do need to start thinking about gunboating some things. Bourgogne is distracted by the Vermont. This is one of the reasons that I do want to start gunboating here, is get a little bit of extra damage in. Unfortunately, the Vermont doesn't do too much to this Borgone, but he's still got a reasonable amount of health left, and ideally, he will be dealing with this Borgone, who decides to turn out flat broadside to him even. So a difficult game to win here now from this point on. We have to deal with this Borgone and the Zhao. They have more than enough time to come and get these caps. So in the late game here, we need to be thinking about cap points. This is where one of the mods that I have is amazing. I don't think that mods are required to play this game, but in competitive or more competitive modes where you're trying to get wins, yeah, having the score timer mod is amazing. You can just see 3 minutes, 20 seconds, nothing else changes, we're going to win the game. It's very, very valuable for understanding what plays you want to be making or not, whether you should be playing aggressive or passive, setting up defensively, or even just running off the map. There are times where the enemy team just physically cannot win anymore. So there's no point in shooting, there's no point in engaging, and you just run away and accept victory. In this case, though, we do have to do something here. The Borgone is focused on us, which is good. You know, we've decided to open up, and we got his attention, allowing for our Vermont to live a little longer. I was really hoping he'd get some salvos in on the Zhao. We haven't seen that quite yet. The Zhao gets into the B cap, so I'm going to need to open up on him right now, trying to get some free damage in while our Vermont is still alive. As you can see in the team battles, he's not doing so well right now. So this is how we turned a 3DD kill to none, right? We're 3 DDs up in the first 5 minutes into a 2v1 where I'm alone versus 2 of the enemy team here. Pretty interesting ranked games, gotta say. But there is still a way for us to win this. We got a lot of our health still. And this Zhao is low, so we need to isolate fights. It's a very important thing to do. We can use our radar here to get a little bit of vision on the Zhao and where the Borgone is. Very important, though, that we don't eat full Zhao salvos. That is very painful. If you didn't know, Småland has forward-launching ASWs, and they actually block the gun turrets at closer ranges directly down in. So I have to angle a little bit poorly, and then we eat a big chunk from this Zhao. Fortunately, though, he is going to be low enough that we'll eat one more salvo from his front guns, which it hurts, but we do take him out here. So now we're in a 1v1 versus the Borgone, and we know he's in the B cap. We know he's probably not made the turn to get in front of us here. He's going to come around from behind the island, and we need to get away from him, right? We're going to die in 1 to 2 salvos from him, so we have to get away, but I still want to be stalling out the caps. 4 minutes, 30 seconds on the timer here till we win. 2 minutes 12 now that he's out of the cap. So how do you play this? You have to think about cap points and trying to get it to 1,000 as quickly as we can. Borgone will definitely have had a heal at this point, so it's very unlikely that we're actually going to DPM him out at this point here. I didn't really take gun range on this build as far as a ranked specific build with the Småland. We're going for close range DPM and concealment and survivability, trying to take out DDs early because oftentimes that leads to easy victories, doesn't it? Now we see Borgone in the C cap, so we know he's not charging around the island. The reason I went so far out of my way here, instead of directly going to the A cap, is that I needed to get away from the island as quickly as I could, because I didn't want to get surprised by the Borgone charging around it. I wanted to have a bit of a buffer between my concealment and the edge of that island. Ideally, we would like to just cap this game out. I don't really want to face off against a single Borgone in these closer ranges situations. But now we can go get the A cap. And still we're thinking about cap points. That is the way we're going to win or lose this game. So with the Borgone getting 2 caps now for his team at this point, we still will win. But the important thing here is there's 2 minutes 36 seconds until we win. And it's very easy for the Borgone to get into the B cap and stall it out. So I have to get A here. And even with that, that still might not be enough, since Borgone here should get into the B cap any second now, and that will stall out the points. We're on 900, but that's still a little ways away on a single cap, as you can see. 2 minutes at least from this point, assuming we have a single cap to our name. Borgone, though, a little slow on the turnaround, I guess. So that is helping us tick ever closer to a win. And I was really hoping that the Borgone was going to go around the north side of the B cap here. I wanted to potentially sneak in around, trying to play a little bit of positional mind games here, but he turned around directly and came back the way he went. I was thinking it would be an easier turn for him to just charge to the C cap, turn left, and then charge right back to the B cap on the north side. And this makes it a little tricky for us because now he's much closer to us. We're stuck in between this Bourgogne and the island. Notice I don't have a lot of maneuverability here. And I open up. And the reason I open up is to reset him. The Bourgogne will cap B before we're actually able to take out points. Since the A cap is so close, he'll be able to actually walk over to the A cap and stall it. And there will be no way for me to win at that point. So I need to retain at least one cap here. And this is a great example of why you should never, ever be putting yourself in a position where you might be getting spotted and your only escape route of turning away, angling, that kind of thing, is blocked by an island. It's a very, very bad thing to do. And we get very lucky that the Bourgogne has such bad dispersion on his second salvo there. Opening up again to reset the B cap. We did need to get one more in, and he leaves the B cap. He's going to charge us down, I guess, and maybe try and stall out the A cap. 16 seconds on a 2 cap until we win here, so I just need to go dark. And even if he gets into A at this point, the B cap is still mine. The resetting was very important here, and because of that, we've dipped behind the island, and we can run away and accept victory. A very, very close game that probably shouldn't have been. But ranked is very interesting. And honestly, it is a lot of fun. I was on the edge of my seat in this one. I was a little disappointed in the team, I think understandably, but yes, gold ranked, as you can see. And just goes to show that don't take ranked too seriously. There's plenty of people playing that, you know, you're going to let some people down, but they'll let you down too. It's not the most positive message, I guess, but what I'm trying to say is don't feel a lot of pressure to perform in ranked. I can understand that from a newer player perspective, but it's really quite a casual mode. As for the build here on the Småland, ranked does mean it's a little more specific or a little different than random battles. I do want concealment here. Normally in a gunboat DD like this, especially one with radar, it's not as important to have this amazing concealment here because, well, you just can radar whatever spots you. You're not really at a massive disadvantage. One of the reasons that the Gdansk is so insanely powerful, it's a Marceau hull, but it doesn't have that disadvantage of being outspotted by a lot of the more stealthy DDs. However, in ranked, especially with a Småland where I am trying to play a little closer to things, we don't have the shell velocity of a Gdansk, for example, it is nice to have. Otherwise, though, you definitely want Fearless Brawler a lot of the time. Since you don't have a smoke, you're oftentimes going to be spotted while shooting, and you're going to get 10% reload for free. And that is a lot of DPM on this thing. But we're going for more survivability, still getting some damage in and DPM, but trying to live, trying to play the Destroyer Hunter role. We're trying to win caps early and hopefully snowball that into victories. This match was a bit of an outlier. Typically those do end in very easy wins. But I had to share this one with you guys because it was just so obscure. And I'll always like talking about late game scenarios like that, where you really have to think about your next move and it has a very tangible impact on the result of the game. I always enjoy that. It's very fun for me to have matches that end up like that. As stressful and as maybe annoying as they can be a little bit, seeing all your teammates die like that, I do like those close games at the end where I can feel like I've outplayed someone to the best of my ability. We also had an advantage on points there. It's not like the Bourgogne didn't do a good job, obviously, but I had the advantage of cap points early, which then I used in the end game to win. Otherwise, that would have been much harder if we didn't have all those caps for that long. Prop mod, gun accuracy, DPM, conceal. The build here is pretty standard, I'd say, when it comes to a Småland. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Got a little entertainment value out of that near throw from my ranked team there. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.